All righty, we are on page 37 in the grammar book. Page 37. Talking about adjectives today. And we've talked about these a little bit before, but adjectives, they describe the noun. That's their job, okay? Or pronouns sometimes. But an adjective tells which one, what kind, how many, or whose. And here it is in bold right here, and it says memorize it. So these are the questions you ask. So when you're looking for an adjective, you're going to start by looking at the noun. While you're looking at the noun and you're thinking about what it is, you're going to ask which one, what kind, how many, or whose. And if you see that word before the noun, that's an adjective. And you'll label it ADJ. That's how we're going to label it in this book. So sometimes an article adjective, we know articles are a, an, and the. It's a special type of adjective that signals that a noun is coming. So whenever you see a, an, or the, you know a noun is coming. It might be the next word, but it might be after an adjective describing the noun. I mean, it might be before, it might be the article and then adjective and then noun. It might be in that order. You can test if a word is an adjective by putting the word between the article and the noun. Here's an example. Well, it gives you this test on the side here, and I don't really like this test, but I do want to point it out to you. The blank pen, the is an article. Blank is a place where you can test an adjective or a word that you think might be an adjective, and then pen is a noun, right? That's a thing. So obviously you could say the blue pen, the black pen, the red pen, any color pen, the big pen, the little pen, the fuzzy pen, the spiky pen. But then there's other words that might not exactly fit in that test. So it's not a foolproof test. I think it's better to ask these questions here to find the adjective. But let's look at this example right here. The happy soldiers talked. So the adjective usually comes before the word it describes. We see noun, the noun here, soldiers. Those are people. So that's considered a noun. Right before that tells what kind of soldiers. They're happy soldiers. They could be strong soldiers. They could be sad, I guess, sad soldiers. They could be brave soldiers. So you could have a lot of different types of words before soldiers. Here it's happy. And that is an adjective describing the soldiers. This example here, the dwarf gave his gift to the soldier. So we've got a few nouns in that one. We've got dwarf, and the article the is right before dwarf. So there's no adjective there. We have gift. And if I ask whose gift, it's his gift. So sometimes pronouns are actually adjectives in the sentence, depending on where it is in the sentence. His gift tells us whose gift it is, so that becomes an adjective here. And then, of course, we have the noun soldier, but before that, we have the article the. There's no adjective before that one. So that's your trick. You're going to look for the nouns and then ask yourself these questions. Which one, what kind, how many, or whose? Hi, Camila. We're on page 37 in grammar, okay? And then don't forget, you're going to stay a little longer after class, and I'm going to talk to you about your binder, okay? Okay, cool. Let's move down here to this example right here. The three soldiers used the dwarf's first gift to wish for a fine castle. Their gifts pleased them. Lots of adjectives in here. You can see them all. They label them for you. We're going to label them ADJ, which is an abbreviation for adjective. Three soldiers tells how many soldiers. Gift is the noun here. And if you ask which one, it's the first gift. But then if you ask whose, it's the dwarf's first gift. So we've got two adjectives in a row right here. Sometimes that happens. To wish for a fine castle. What kind of castle? Fine castle. And then their gifts. Whose gifts? Their gifts. So remember, you're looking for that noun. That's going to help you a lot. And then these questions here, which one, what kind, how many, and whose. That'll help you find the adjective. Now, it does talk about a quality adjective at the bottom here. Pretty soon, in the next few weeks, we're going to add this as a dress up in your writing. Right now, you're doing ly adverbs and who, which clauses. Eventually, you're going to see quality adjective as a dress up because those really add style to your writing. And the difference between a quality adjective and a regular adjective is just that it gives the reader a little bit more of a visual, an image of what's going on in your story. So a regular adjective could be, let's say, well, let me start with this. Think of the noun rainbow. And I'm sure we've all seen a rainbow at some point in our lives. If I say the pretty rainbow, that word pretty is an adjective. It's telling about the rainbow, right? And rainbows are pretty. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad adjective, but it is kind of plain, okay? But if I use the adjective colorful and I say the colorful rainbow, now in your head, you're visioning all of the colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, right? So it gives the reader a little bit more of a better picture when you use a quality adjective that is more descriptive than some of the other adjectives, right? We could say the nice rainbow. That's boring, right? The nice rainbow, or the neat rainbow, or cool rainbow. But if I say colorful, now that's a little different. So think of that. This basically just tells you what I just said. So, and then there's a page in the back of the book. If you come across some really great adjectives, some quality adjectives that you want to remember, there's a place where you can make a list for yourself. Like when you're reading your book, or even in this story, you come across a word and you're like, wow, I really like that adjective. You can make your own list in the back. All right, that's pretty much it for this page. Do you guys have any questions about what we just talked about here? If not, just go ahead and shake your head no. Okay. All right. Nothing on the back of that. So let's go to our practice page. Let's see, Nasaya, could you read our sentence today?
Gardens of rare roses and lawns
There you go.
with soft grass grew around the castle.
Good. Nice reading. Rare is our vocabulary today. So does anyone know how to describe what rare means? How would you explain that? Rare. You probably know what it means, but it's hard to put it into words sometimes, right? William, what do you think?
It means hard to find.
Good. Okay, I like that. Hard to find, unusual or uncommon. Good. All of those would work. Go ahead and put a check there. We know the word. Article, you know what to do here. And then go ahead and find, there's only one, so go ahead and find it and label it here. Alrighty, now Tyler, can you help us find the nouns?
Gardens,
Good,
roses,
good,
lawns,
good.
grass,
Yes,
and castle.
good. Lots of nouns in this sentence, but that's it. That's all of them. There's 5. Good job. And then how about Camila? What about the adjectives? Now, I know you missed the very, very beginning when we talked about that, but those are the words that tell about the noun. Like what kind, which one, how many, those kinds of questions. Do you see the adjectives? So like, let me help you here. Or do you see one? If you look at roses,
Soft.
oh, good. Soft is an adjective. You're right. So if we look at grass and we ask ourselves, what kind of grass? It's soft grass. Yes, that is one adjective. And now look at roses. What kind of roses, Camila?
Rare.
Good, rare. That tells what kind. So that is considered an adjective. Very good. There's only two, so that was easy. How about William, where should the capital be? The capital letter.
The G on the gardens.
Good. The G in gardens is the first word of the sentence. Need it there. And then we have one end mark. Nasaya, what should we put at the end?
At the end of the sentence by castle,
And what should it be?
a period.
Good. Okay. Sometimes it's a question mark or an exclamation mark, but you're right. It's just a period here. All right. That's it for today. So you're going to write this down later, and then your homework will be the next 3 pages. So 40, 41, and 42. Pretty easy still. That's always nice. So now you're going to get out your binders. And you're going to go ahead and get out all the stuff you've been working on this week. In the front pocket of your binder should be everything for camels. We're still working on that. We're finishing up now. And that's where we started. Before you close your binder, though, I do want you to turn to the back under the tab that says Stylistic Techniques. Go to that tab real quick for me. Stylistic Techniques. It's toward the back. Called Stylistic Techniques. And back there, when you turn the page, you should see this yellow page. Give me a thumbs up if you have that in there. Good, William, I see that.
Do you want us
Good.
to take out the stuff in the front pocket quite yet?
Yeah, you can take the stuff out of the front pocket and go to this page. You're not going to take this page out. You're just going to turn to it. Because all we're going to do is add to the list. This is page 27, Camila. If your mom is there, she can help you find that. Page 27.
So you said we're adding to it?
So we're going to write on this page. You can leave it in your binder. So right now on this page 27, you should already have your ly adverb. And then number 2 was who, which, clause. Give me a thumbs up if you have those 2 written on your yellow page. Good. Okay. This is under stylistic techniques under dress up. So you should have number 1 should say ly adverb. Number 2 should say who, which, clause. Oh, that's the one we're adding. So if you didn't have number 2 here, you need to put it in there. Who, which, clause. I thought we were doing number 3, but we're only doing number 2. So you should have these 2 filled out. Ly adverb number 1 and who, which, clause. Okay, thumbs up when I saw Nasaya gave me a thumbs up. Okay, William, good. Are you ready, Tyler? Good. Okay, and Camila, I know she's probably writing it in. Ly adverb for number 1. Good, I see that, Camila. And who, which, clause for number 2. We're going to keep adding to this, but that's it for today. We're just adding that. Now, you can close up your binder, leave that yellow page in there. And now let's look at the pages you took out of your front pocket. Remember last week we started talking about the who, which clause. And we started working on this practice page. I remember I have to erase mine because I use it for different classes too, but you should have 1 through 4 done from last week. This is page 43. It should be in the front pocket with your stuff for this week. I want to finish this page with you. Okay, so we left off, I think we finished number 4. We left off on number 5. And remember what we were doing was looking to see how can we combine these sentences using who or which, and and making sure it makes sense, right? So let's look at number 5 here. This is page 43. I work hard to earn money. I am saving for a jet ski. So it's 2 sentences. Now we can either use who or which to combine those 2 sentences together and make it into one sentence using a who or which clause. Does anybody have any ideas on how you can do that? Okay, I'm going to ask William this time. William, how can we combine those using who or which?
I work hard to earn money, which I'm saving for a jet ski.
Yes, good. Is that what you were going to say too, Tyler? Oh, you have a different one? Go ahead. Tell me your idea, Tyler.
I, who work hard to earn money, am saving for a jet ski.
I think, it's, I get why you said that because who is talking about a person, but that does sound kind of weird to say I who. So it almost works better to use who when it's somebody else's name or somebody else in the sentence, but you're on the right track, Tyler. I get why you said that. I'm going to go with the which after money because it is a thing and it kind of flows a little bit better that way. So let's go ahead and write that one. I work hard to earn money, comma. Don't forget, we put a comma before the word which I am saving for a jet ski. In case you don't know what a jet ski is, it's kind of like a motorcycle, but not with wheels. It's like a boat kind of where you can actually ride it on the water. It looks like Camila knows what it is. Have you ridden one before, Camila? No? Has anybody ridden a jet ski before? I haven't.
No, but I really want to.
They're cool looking, huh? They're so
Me too.
I would just like to go in circles.
I know. It looks so fun. How about you, William? Have you done it before?
No, but I want to do it.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'd like to do it someday too. On a lake or something like that. It looks like it's pretty fun. Go ahead and underline that word which. When you're going to add these to your writing, remember, you're only going to underline who or which when you do it in your writing. So like you guys are working on that report about camels. So don't forget to add that now, a who or a which clause, and only underline who or which. Now down here, it says indicate if the following are complete or incomplete sentences. So we're just going to put C for complete, I for incomplete, and we're just going to see if we can tell by reading it if it sounds like it's a good sentence. So Nasaya, I'm going to have you look at number 1. It says, I have a special pen, which I use for writing poetry. Does that sound like a complete sentence or incomplete?
Complete.
I agree, complete, because we've got the which here and use is your verb with that and have is your verb with this part of the sentence. Remember, I've shared before that verb the who or which sometimes steals the verb from the sentence. So you have to remember there needs to be a second verb in there. Number 2, this is for William. My father who loves hiking and hunting. Does that sound like a complete sentence or incomplete?
Complete.
It's actually incomplete because it just says my father who loves. Now loves is your verb, right? Who loves hiking and hunting, but there needs to be another verb after that, right? It leaves you hanging. It's like, okay, cool. My dad loves hiking and hunting. What else? Right? It kind of leaves you hanging. My father who loves hiking and hunting. So that one is incomplete. And then Camila, this last one, I met a man who said he could eat a horse. Now, this is just a saying. Don't worry. It's not like he's really going to eat a horse, but it means he's that hungry, right? I met a man who said he could eat a horse. What do you think, Camila? Is it complete or incomplete?
Yes.
Yes, complete. Good, because you got I met, that's the verb there, and then who said, that's the verb there. So good, complete on that one. Okay, we are done with this page. Now, I do want you to get out your keyword outline that we started last week in class. The keyword outline we started last week. Now, yours should have 8 and 9. It should be finished all the way here through 8 and 9, because that was part of your homework. Okay, and before we get going again on camels, what I want you to do is turn your keyword outline over to the back side. I'm going to have you take a couple notes on the back of your keyword outline. Back side. Sometimes we do this just to have some notes back here. So at this top line, I want you to put who/which clause. We're still going to talk a little bit about the who, which clause. Let me get a different pen here. I don't really like that one. Let's see. Try this one. And then underneath that, I'm going to have you skip a line. I want you to just copy this sentence, okay? And you can use pencil or pen. It doesn't matter on this. This is just your notes. I want you to write the third species is the wild Bactrian, and then skip a line, camel. Just write that sentence. The third species is the wild Bactrian camel. You probably remember that part of the story. Maybe you even have it in your own paragraph. But I just want you to have that sentence. It's a good sentence. It's got the verb is talking about the subject is the species here. The third species is. It has a couple nouns. It's a complete sentence. Now, if I have a sentence like that, and I want to add the word which, let's say you're thinking, well, I know we're talking about species. I think right after species, and go ahead and write this in on yours too. Let's just add which. Now, the original sentence was good. Now you have the third species, which is the Bactrian, the wild Bactrian camel. Notice it is now incomplete. On top of that word is, I want you to put a V for verb here, okay? That's the verb in the sentence. And then I want you to draw an arrow from which to is like that. Because remember how I said who or which, they steal the verb from the sentence, right? Now, this word is connected to which. It took it away from the main part of the sentence. So that's the problem. You have to add more after that. There needs to be another verb. So now it says the third species, which is the wild Bactrian camel. Now you can add, oh, by the way, before we add, we need to put commas. When the which clause or the who clause is in the middle of the sentence like this, we need commas. So after species, put a comma, and then we're going to change this period to a comma because the which clause is which is the wild Bactrian camel. We're going to continue now and add another verb, lives in the Gobi Desert, right? Gobi. Go ahead and copy this down too. Put a V on top of lives. That's your second verb. Remember, when you add who or which, you got to add another verb. So now it is complete. The third species, which is the wild Bactrian camel, lives in the Gobi Desert. Now it's complete. Let's put a star by it. We like it. And you added style to your writing. That's part of this class, is learning how to create style in your writing. When you add who or which, it really makes the sentence better. Okay. So there's your example on the back of this. So when you go to write your paragraph again this next week, you're going to write the second paragraph. Be thinking of where you can add who or which, but don't forget to have the sentence continue. It needs to continue, and you need to have a second verb in there. Do you have any questions about what we just did? No questions? Okay, good. Now turn it back over to the keyword outline. Our job today is to work on the second paragraph. This is a report that you're doing, because remember how I explained camels is like a text, like a informational text. And so this is different than your creative writing or, made up stories and stuff. This is actual facts about camels. Tyler, did you have a question?
So is there going to be more than 2 paragraphs?
Only 2 paragraphs for this report. Obviously, the actual original only has 2 as well. So it's only 2 paragraphs. We're going to finish it up this week. All right. We already did the first paragraph. We're done with that. So now we're just going to focus on the second paragraph. So the first thing I want to do is read it, and then we're going to work on the keyword outline together. Okay. So, by the way, a little warning, some of it's kind of gross, but it's okay. We can handle gross sometimes. All right, here it says, humans have used camels for millennia. By the way, millennia means thousands of years. Millennium is 1,000. Millennia is thousands plural, okay? For thousands of years, millennia. They have mainly been trained as pack animals, but also for racing and warfare. Hold on, William. I'll get your question in a second. They can be taught to pull plows and carts. Camel milk is highly nutritious. In parts of Africa, camel urine is thought to be medicinal. Okay, let's back up for a second. You guys know what urine is, right? Urine is pee. In case you didn't know, it's pee. Okay, so the camel pee is thought to be medicinal. Now, the root word in there, medicinal, is medicine. So they used the pee of the camel for medicine. Okay, that's pretty gross, but that's what they did in Africa. In many Middle Eastern countries, camel meat is served at feasts. We don't eat camel meat in America. I don't even think you can buy it anywhere here. I don't think so. But in the Middle Eastern countries, those are the ones like Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, the Middle East, that whole area, they use camel meat. Now, there's a lot of camels over there. We don't have a lot of camels in America, really. I mean, I guess if you go to the fair or maybe some farms, they have camels, but not very common. Nomads, by the way, here, nomads are people who wander. They don't have a home. They just want to live on the road. They travel. They travel from place to place. That's their living. Okay. It's not that they're homeless, but they choose to be homeless. They don't have a home to go to, so they travel. Okay. So nomads in Northern Africa may drink camel blood. Yes, I said camel blood mixed with camel milk to sustain them on long desert journeys. Now, it's kind of sad for the camel. It's like, they're going to have to cut the camel in order to get the blood, right? But the blood has protein and it has iron and it has what they need to survive as far as the people. If they don't kill the camel, they just drink some of its blood. It's kind of gross. Like, I would not do that. No, thank you. No, thank you. Mixed with the milk. Okay. These are people in Africa, they have such a different life there than we do. We would never do that. It's not sanitary, and it's just kind of seems cruel to the camel to take the blood. And so in America, it's like wrong, right? It doesn't feel right to do that. In Africa, they have different rules. They have different ways of living. So in Africa, when you're in the middle of nowhere and there's no food, There's no McDonald's, there's no Walmart, there's no nothing out there, you know. That's how the people survive. Okay, and then to sustain on long desert journeys, because desert, there nothing really even grows out there, right? There's not even really any animals out there because it's dry, it's hot, no vegetation out there. So and then we're going to continue here. It gets better. So that was the worst part. Camel hair is light and strong. Thus, it is useful for clothes, blankets, tents, and rugs. In Arab cultures, the camel symbolizes endurance and patience. Okay, that word symbolizes, it's like for us in America, we have the bald eagle, and that symbolizes our freedom, right? In other Arab countries, that's the Middle Eastern area, the camel symbolizes endurance. Endurance just means like not giving up, even when you're really tired, like you're running a marathon and your body hurts and you're hungry and you're tired, you don't give up, you keep going. That's endurance. Okay. So the camel represents that because they can go a long time without drinking water. They can go a long time without eating, and they keep going. They're very strong and they don't give up. Camels are pretty awesome animals. And so endurance just means that they can go on a long journey with you and carry all your stuff. They're strong. And then patience, meaning, they're caught in a windstorm or a sandstorm or something like that, they'll just stand there and wait. They don't freak out. They're very patient animals. All right. So that's the second paragraph of this article about camels. The first paragraph, you guys, we learned about where they are, what the species are, and now we're moving into how people use them, right? I saw your hand earlier, William. Did you have something to say? That was a while ago.
Can I use the bathrooms?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes, you can. Okay. So now we're going to take that second paragraph and start building our keyword outline using the sentences that we read. We're going to go back and look again. Now, remember, this is new to you, having a Roman numeral. That Roman numeral represents the first sentence. And usually in a paragraph, the first sentence is the topic sentence. It's telling the reader what you're going to learn about in the paragraph, right? So it's giving us a little clue about what's coming, the topic sentence. So this first sentence, and I'm going to start with Nisaya here. It says humans, it's pretty short, so this should be pretty easy. Humans have used camels for millennia. How can we pick out some keywords there for our outline for the Roman numeral 2?
Humans used millennia.
Good. And we don't need camels because we know the whole thing's about camels. So I agree with that. Let's put humans used millennia. And millennia is thousands of years. E-N-I-A. Millennia. Oh, 2 N's. Sorry. I spelled that wrong. So it's 2 L's and 2 N's in millennia. N-N-I-A. So make sure that you actually put that next to Roman numeral 2. Don't skip down to this one. Make sure you look at it. Oh, Tyler's like, did you write it in pen too? That's all right. Just draw a line through it. Don't scribble it out. One line through it. Put it above next to Roman numeral 2. And then when you get to the next one, just write it next to it on the side here. It's okay. Remember, messy papers is okay with me. It really is okay. Okay, so William, go ahead and write down these. This is going to be your topic sentence. So put it next to Roman numeral 2. That represents the very first sentence of the paragraph. I know that's new to you guys, but you're going to start using it this way now from now on. So we'll get used to that. Roman numeral 2. Humans used millennia. You could put a C here with a circle around it if you want to remember camels, right? That could be a little symbol. Used camels for millennia. If you want, it's up to you. Now, remember, as we're going through this, if you have a different idea, put what you want to put. We're going to do this together, and I'm going to make mine, and you can copy mine, or you can do your own, okay? However, whatever words you pick. It's not like this is the only way. The next one I'm going to give to Tyler. Right here where it says they have mainly been trained as pack animals, but also for racing and warfare.
Mainly racing warfare,
Okay.
or mainly T and then racing warfare.
T for trained, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. I don't know if we need mainly. I mean, I know I like that word too, but I kind of feel like pack animals, like pack. That's actually pretty important. Do you know what a pack animal is? I mean, sometimes we know, like, and Nasiah's like, kind of, well, pack, like if you're thinking about a pack of wolves, that's a group of wolves, right? That's like more than one together. But this is about a camel, and it's called a pack animal because they carry stuff. So another pack animal could be a donkey. They're very strong, just like camels. They can carry a lot of weight on them. So that's what they used them for, to carry their supplies, their food, if they had food, or maybe their tent, and whatever they needed on their journey, they would use these camels to carry stuff. So that's why they're called pack animals. So I feel like that's important to somewhere put pack in here. This is tricky, Tyler, because we've got a lot of good keywords in here and we can only have 3. So I wonder if we should put trained, pack, and then either racing or warfare, because we're not going to have enough room for both. Do you know what warfare is, by the way?
Yes.
What is warfare, Tyler?
Warfare is like when you are fighting.
In war, like soldiers, maybe they're carrying the supplies for war too. Yeah.
So if you want it, do you want to include animals or?
I do want to, but we don't have room.
So, well, we could do trained and then P for pack and then A for animals,
Can we remember PA?
probably.
If you can remember that, then yes, put PA. You might have to go back and look to remind yourself. I think for me, and like I said, you can do it your way too, Tyler. I think I like that word trained, and I like that word pack, and maybe I'll put AN dot, like animals, pack animals, and then I'm going to put warfare. Or you can pick racing. I think that would be funny to watch camels racing. I don't know if you've ever seen a camel in real life, but they're kind of floppy the way they move. Yeah. So can you imagine them running? They're probably all just like, and the guy that has to sit up there, man, he's got to hold on because they're really like not smooth. Okay. Definitely not smooth. That's how I'm going to do mine. But like I said, if you guys have a different way, I want you to pick the keywords that you want to pick from there. Here's the thing about your report. You're summarizing. Remember how we talked about summarizing is taking some information, not all. There's not enough room for all. So we're just picking some of the information to tell here. All right. So the next one I'm going to give to Camila. It says here, they can be taught to pull plows and carts. What should we put for that part? They can be taught to pull plows and carts.
Hot,
Okay.
plows,
Okay. What was the last one?
carts.
Carts. So you're saying taught plows, carts, that'll work. Or we could just put pull plows, carts, that'll work too. So it's up to you guys if you want to do tot plows, carts, or pull plows, carts. I'm going to do tot. Like she suggested, that was good. Plows, carts. By the way,
Is-
plows. Oh, go ahead.
Is it okay if I do tot pole plows?
Yes, that is okay. So you put, if you like that, put that. Yep. Everybody's can be different now. So good. Plows, by the way, you probably know from, they're a tool that other countries still use. We use tractors now, but plows in other countries are the big tools on wheels that have like a sharp pointed place in it to make a groove or a ditch in the dirt so you can plant seeds. That's what the plow does. And sometimes
So-
they turn the dirt and you know, make it so where you can grow something. Go ahead, Tyler.
So a plow's like a big shovel?
Yeah, kind of like a big shovel on wheels. So they usually have it is like the shovel in front of it, and then it's got wheels so that they can pull it. So the camels can pull it, and the shovel just kind of makes a long groove in the dirt so that the farmer can go behind it and put seeds in there. And then they cover it back up. And so in other countries, you know, in America, we use tractors. Like I said, everywhere you go, they're using tractors. Very few people use actual plows still. All right, so the next one I'm going to give to, let's see, where are we? I think it's Nasiah's turn or William. I don't think we've had William do one yet. William, right here, camel milk is highly nutritious. So
Milk highly nutrition.
yeah, that was an easy one. Milk. Good, Tyler or William. Highly nutritious. Nasiah's got the next one here. In parts of Africa, camel urine. Sorry, Nasiah, you got the gross one. Camel urine is thought to be medicinal.
Africa, urine, medicinal.
There you go, medicinal. Yes, I agree with that. I think it's important to say it's Africa. Urine, medicinal. Good. Did I spell that right? Medicinal. Yeah, medicinal, which just means medicine, like a type of medicine, basically. Okay. Back to Tyler. In many Middle Eastern countries, camel meat is served at feasts. Now, Middle Eastern, by the way, is 2 words, but we can count it as one because it is a proper noun for a region in that area. So we can count that as one.
Middle East meat feasts.
I agree. Good. I'm going to put Middle Eastern, but you could just put Middle East. That's okay too. Actually, let's do that. Let's put Middle East. I kind of like that because then we don't have to worry about putting countries in there. We could just put in the Middle East, meat, feasts. And we could put a little C with a circle around it here if we want to remember, oh yeah, we're talking about camel meat, right? That's a little symbol we can use just to remind us. So what we're doing obviously is taking notes from the original. And then when we rewrite it, we're putting it into our own words here. Okay. For Camila, you get the really gross one, Camila, sorry. Nomads in Northern Africa may drink camel blood mixed with camel milk to sustain them on long desert journeys. That's a tough one. Let's see if we can do this. It's got a lot in there. So we got to figure out what words are we going to choose from here. It's a tough one.
Nomads.
Yeah.
Northern.
Maybe. What else?
Africa.
Yeah, we might have to skip those only because there's really more important things in the sentence, like the blood and milk. So that's the gross part of the sentence, but yet that's the part that tells us the most about it. So I'm wondering, I like that word nomad because that tells us these are people who are traveling long distances. Remember, they don't have a home, so all they do is travel. So I like that word, nomads, there. So I'm thinking blood, milk. That's kind of the main point of that sentence, I think. And maybe we could draw a little picture about them going on these long desert journeys. So, okay, so let's put nomads, blood, milk, and we could squeeze in a little C here, camel blood, milk. And then maybe we could do like a long arrow representing a long journey, right? And maybe what could we draw to represent desert? You guys have any ideas on that? William, what do you think?
Heat.
Heat?
E for deserts.
Oh, D for desert? Okay, we could do that.
Or you could draw a sun.
Let's do that. Hopefully that'll remind us. And maybe a little guy walking here. Little stick figure. Whatever you need to put to help you remember what that is, but that's basically representing a long desert journey. And remember, when you go to write your paragraph, if you need to go back and look at the original, you can to remind you, okay? But you're going to try to put it in your own words. But that was a good start, Camila, nomads. And then I think we do need to include blood and milk. And then these long journeys, because otherwise these people would die if they didn't have anything to eat at all. All they had was this camel, but they don't want to, you know, how some countries they actually eat camel meat, but they don't want to kill their camel because they need their camel to carry their stuff, right? So the next best thing is their blood. Kind of gross, but that's how they do it in their culture. All right, and the camel survives. Next is for William. Camel hair is light and strong. Oh, you got an easy one.
Where? Air light strong.
Yeah, hair light, strong. That was easy. Poor Camila got the hard one. Hair light, strong. Messiah. Thus, it is useful for clothes, blankets, tents, and rugs. Obviously, there's more than we can fit. So you're going to have to pick and choose which ones you want to write down. Anybody, you guys can all pick which ones you want to put, okay?
Clothes, we could put a shirt.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
Then blanket, tents, and rugs.
Okay. And I wonder if we need that word useful too. Maybe. So maybe useful shirt. draw a shirt for clothes, and then you can pick 2 of these that are left. You don't have to pick all of them because there's not enough room. Unless you want to draw a little tent, you could do that. Some of you are better drawers than me. I don't know if I could do that, but I think I'm going to use the word useful.
You please go back to that
I-
story.
Oh, do you have it in front of you?
I actually don't know where it's at right now.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna draw a little t-shirt. And then I'll probably pick blankets and tents. Remember, we're summarizing, so you're not going to have all of the information in your report, just some of it. Okay. Let me see if I can draw my little shirt here. Oh, that's not too bad. It looks like a t-shirt. Sometimes I surprise myself. Blankets. Tents. That's what I'm going to put. But if you want to draw a little tent and then you use the word rug, or you could draw a rug. All right, Tyler, you get the last one here. The last sentence says, in Arab cultures, the camel symbolizes endurance and patience.
Arab with a little C to remind us that it's cultures.
Good. Okay, I like that.
Symbolizes endurance.
Okay, good. Or patience. You could put either one, but yeah.
Or you could do symbolizes endurance and then a little P for patience.
Yeah, you could. I definitely like that word symbolizes. I think we need that. I'm going to put endurance. And remember, it's a summary. So if you don't have both endurance and patience on there, that's okay. You can just say that it symbolizes endurance because that's still true. Okay, good job, you guys. We got that second paragraph. Now we have our keywords here. After you write that down, let's look at your checklist. We need to review your checklist really quick. Everybody got that written down? Did you get it, Camila? Okay, I'll leave it there for a second. C here is not camel. We didn't circle it for camel. We put it there for cultures. So Arab cultures. In Arab cultures, the camel symbolizes, maybe we should put camel here next to symbolizes. The camel symbolizes endurance. Okay. Got it, Camila? She's working on it. Okay, good. Checklist. Remember, this is how I grade your stuff on Google Classroom. So make sure that you're following this checklist every time. You can put your name here on the checklist. And then your source text is camels. Just rewrite it right there. And then remember, we have this broken up into different categories. The first one is structure. That's basically how your page is set up. Most of you are pretty good about remembering these things. Your name and date in the upper left-hand corner, always, whether we're in class or you're doing your homework. If you're typing or writing, upper left-hand corner. Yes, Tyler?
So can we put it in the upper left corner and the right corner?
Just the left corner is where it goes, not the right corner. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're going, Tyler, you like to type your stuff now too, huh?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. But I've also been doing some writing on stuff.
Yeah, that's fine if you flip back and forth, but the name and date has to be in the left side, which is the side with the holes, or, you know, the other side there. So William, did you have a question about that too?
So for the writing the paragraph, do we get another paper?
Good question. No, you're going to keep going on the paper you started. I'm glad you asked that because I might have forgot to talk about that. This is a 2-paragraph report. So you guys already did the first paragraph. You're going to add to it now. So when you turn it in, you're actually turning in 2 paragraphs. William, did you have something else?
I finished my paper, my one side off that paper.
You finished your first paragraph or you already did both paragraphs?
So do I have to write on the other side of the paper?
Oh, I see. Because you're done with the front of the paper. Yeah, you can either write on the back of it or on a new page. It's up to you. Okay. You can write on the back. Some people don't like to write on the back of paper. But you can turn it over and keep going or on a second page. So basically, when you turn it in though, it's both paragraphs. So you'll take a picture of both, okay, and then turn it in together. So if you have space on your paper, if you're writing it, just move down, skip a line and move down, and then keep going with your second paragraph, right? The whole thing is 2 paragraphs long. We just did half of it last week, and we're going to do the second half of it this week. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, good. So back here on structure, name and date, upper left, still composition double space. Now you're going to finish your report, right? You're going to finish the second paragraph. So when you're done with that second paragraph and you're at your very last final sentence, you're going to follow this title rule and make a new title for your report. It's not just going to be camels. It says title centered and repeats 1 to 3 key words from final sentence. So you're going to call it something different. You can use the word camels in your title, but you're going to add another word to it, a couple words to it. It's up to you, but you need to give it a new title now. Okay. And then you don't have to worry about this box about the final draft and rough draft and all that. Don't worry about that. You can skip that one. But here, notice we have 2 now, and you guys did that in your first paragraph. You have 1 ly adverb and 1 who which clause. You're going to do that for your second paragraph too. Notice how you have this little paragraph symbol here. It's like a backwards P looking thing. That means paragraph 1 needs to have 1 ly adverb and 1 who which clause. Paragraph 2 needs 1 ly adverb and 1 who which clause. So when you're done, your report should have 4 words underlined. Not the whole clause, remember, just who or which, just that part. And then down here, the mechanics, that's the usual stuff. Making sure you capitalize and making sure it makes sense. That's really important for you to read it out loud to make sure it makes sense. And then remember, you hired your parents to be your editor. So after you check it, hand it to them and say, please edit my paper, and they'll know what to do. Okay, William, I see your hand up again.
Or if I'm doing the second page for the paragraph, so do I start from the beginning, the top of the paper?
Yes, when you are writing your second paragraph on the back, yes, you're going to start at the top of your paper on the back, and don't forget to indent. Remember, this is your first time with, for me, more than 1 paragraph. So when you start your new paragraph, make sure you indent, meaning you move in a little bit to start your first sentence. And don't forget, your first sentence is Roman numeral 2. Remember, this is your first sentence now. So on the back, William, you'll start with this. Humans used camels millennia. Start at the top of your back of your paper and indent, move in a little bit, and then start that sentence. And then you're just going to keep going, skipping lines until you get to the very end here. Good questions, William. Anybody else? I know this is kind of new with 2 paragraphs here, but you got it. You can do this. So this is your report. You're going to turn both paragraphs into me this week. Okay. Good job, you guys. If nobody has any other questions, then we're done for today. And then I will see some of you, maybe I'll see on Saturday for my party at my farm at the Harvest Festival. But the rest of you, I will see next week. Have a good one. Bye. Have a good